Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Raw review. So, did a SummerSlam review, and obviously, we got another Raw at the Barclays, and there's going to be a SmackDown at the Barclays. 3 shows in a row at the Barclays. So, this is my crowd, the New York crowd. I'm not from Brooklyn, but, this is, an annoying crowd to say the least. I mean, I would be a part of these crowds sometimes in the past, but man, oh man, like listening to them now, these people just carry on and on. It's the same people year to year. It's the same chants. It's the same type of predictable reactions. We're going to boo Reigns. We're going to cheer Balor. So this is basically how we started off the show. We had Roman Reigns coming out. I like this idea where he's like the ambassador now. He's going to defend the title more often. He's going to be the responsible champion. And he gave, he gave Balor an opportunity. He says you never got to have your rematch for the title. You never got an opportunity to get there again. So I'm going to give you the opportunity that you never got. When he got injured, they had to rip the belt off of him, and then, they never really brought it up. Now, I always still do. I still categorize this as they kind of realized that they fucked up, that they went too much into the Triple H project of Finn Balor, which I don't really understand why. Like, Triple H, is he, like, that much of a mark? Like, I find it kind of weird a little bit with Triple H, where he's like this big bodybuilder, and he's like the archetype of like what a wrestler should look like and has always looked like. And you look at Triple H and you recognize him as a star right away. A very unique look to Triple H, and just right away you're looking at somebody important. Why he has, like, the hard-on he does for Samoa Joe and Finn Balor and all these guys, like, that they either don't have a good body, Samoa Joe, or Finn Balor, where they just don't have the size, where they just look like an average Joe schmuck. Now, the thing is here, it's like, okay, if you're going to keep Roman Reigns face, this is probably a good way to go, make him, like, he's going to give opportunities to everybody. But this is the same thing they did with Cena with the U.S. Open Challenge. It's a way of kind of just, doing a little bit of damage control. Like, okay, we're going to, try to cater to the smarks as much as possible without really, giving in to them totally. We still want to have Roman Reigns on top, but, we're going to make like he's the only one that sees that Balor's not given this opportunity, and he's going to be the one to give it to them. So why they didn't just go with like my idea, which is not just my idea, but it was obviously an idea they probably floated around their own heads, with the same thing with, Paul Heyman offering Roman Reigns, to have him be his manager last week. Right there was the idea, and they just kind of just scrapped it right there. Like they just said like, oh no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep going the way we're going to go. Like I said, it's like an OCD thing. They just want to keep going the same path. They feel like something bad's going to happen if they try to change the way things are in any way, shape, or form. And so we still remain on the same path that we've been for years and years with Roman Reigns. It's been 3 years of going this same way with him. And there has been so many improvements made to Reigns, undeniably. But, the only improvement left is to get this guy on track to a storyline or to a character that's going to really, utilize his potential to the best of his abilities. But, we're going to just keep doing the same thing, basically. So, Corbin comes out. He says that he's going to put the kibosh on this match. Angle says it's going to happen anyway, because he doesn't make the matches. This leads to a match between Lashley and Corbin. Angle makes a match between them. Lashley gets the win, and and that's it for Lashley for the show. Nothing else. No title opportunities. It's really funny. It's like Lashley comes on right after the Roman Reigns segment. Like, there's nothing there. They're not going to play off of anything with Lashley or Reigns. The fact that Reigns beat him the last time, and hey, there's this glaring rubber match that's going to happen probably somewhere down the line. But maybe they're saving that till WrestleMania. You could think that would probably be something they're probably looking for at this time. Maybe a possible Survivor Series match. I don't know. All I'm saying is that Lashley just kind of has this match with Corbin, and it's not leading to anything. It's just driving me nuts. The fact that it should have really been, when you think about it, for all intents and purposes, it should have been Lashley and Lesnar at SummerSlam the previous night. That's what they were building towards. That's what it looked like they were going for, and it would have made sense. They could have had the whole Hogan thing. And here we are the night after SummerSlam. No Hogan, no progression with Lashley. Put Lashley on the backboard. Seriously, I have to ask a question here. Where is Hogan? They have him back in the company. I don't know if it's because of the whole controversial thing and, Titus O'Neil saying, what the hell is he doing here? And all that stuff. What are we doing with Hogan? You brought him back. You forgave him just to not feature him on TV. And Lashley, we had him beat Roman Reigns, the guy who's champion now, just so he could just kind of have a match with Corbin, and that's about it. I'm just saying, it's like they just keep rolling down the line with no goal in sight. Nothing seems to ever happen, or anything seems to come of anything. It's just, here's a match, here's a promo. No one really gains anything from anything. Paul Heyman confronted Kurt Angle backstage about a rematch. Angle says that that's not going to happen anytime soon, and thank you. I'm so sick of the fact that every single time a wrestler wins a belt, it has to go into this by the numbers type of manufactured situation where they gotta have a rematch. That wrestler always has to have a rematch. No, that shouldn't be the thing. I'm so sick of seeing feuds that last for months and months. And it's one thing if maybe it's interesting and maybe it's going someplace when maybe Stone Cold versus The Undertaker or The Rock versus Mick Foley, where there's something there that people want to see. I'm so sick of seeing these feuds that are not over, wrestlers that are not over, having feuds that go on for seemingly eons. So it's nice to see that finally address the situation where but somewhere down the line, Brock will probably have another match with Roman Reigns, much to the chagrin of the Smarks. But, it's not like I hate these matches. It's just okay, now, we kind of need to get past this whole rematch thing, the rematch clause. They, booked themselves into a corner. It's about time that they stop doing this already. Start doing something fresh. Not everybody should be getting a rematch every single time they lose. Just... that should be it. You lost the belt. Time to move on. Enough with the contractual agreement garbage. The Riot Squad defeated Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Ember Moon. Kind of just a match here that we've been seeing, for basically months now, in some way, shape, or form. These same girls are going at it. There's no real story here or anything. It's just nothing. I mean, the WWE Evolution pay-per-view is coming up in 2 months, and no one here has a character. You've got Ember Moon who just goes after every move, and she's got colorful contacts, and no one really has any personality. Now you've got Sarah Logan painting her face. You could add her to the list of other face painters, Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. Every girl's painting their face now. It's kind of like what I said last night at SummerSlam. It's just why did Becky Lynch paint their face if she knew Ronda Rousey was going to paint her face. Or maybe she didn't know that. But now the very next night on Raw, Sarah Logan is also painting her face. I mean, now everybody wants to be the Ultimate Warrior. Everybody wants to be the Barbarian. I mean, that's actually what it was. That was the Barbarian's face paint. That, the WWE Barbarian, anyway. That face paint that Ronda Rousey did was very close to the Barbarian's face paint. But, here you go. Another 6-man, 6-woman tag. I mean, I could, if they could get through the WWE Evolution pay-per-view without doing a single 6-man or 8-man or 10-man or 12-man tag or a battle royal, I will salute them. I know it's just, no, seriously, I would, start off the video by doing this. I mean, come on. Every single, it's like this. They either line them up for a promo, or they're doing a 6-man tag or some battle royal or something. I don't think I'm gonna have to salute anybody in the video, because the thing is, there's no way they're gonna get through a pay-per-view where they require that many spots without doing some big multi-woman match type of thing. But if they do, you can still look forward to them being on Raw with all these 6-man tag matches and all that. Triple H came out to cut a promo, and this was a great promo, and it's another one of these promos where it just buries everything that's happening right now in the current era. And I just don't get why we need to have promos like this. Now, they're cool and they're awesome to hear that, and everything. Our era is special and everything, and it shouldn't go away. What this tells me is The Undertaker and Triple H having a match in Australia is that basically, we know that what we're giving you right now totally sucks. So, when we go to Australia, we're going to put our best foot forward by showing you something that's actually good. And that is by relying on a guy in his late 40s and early 50s with The Undertaker and Triple H. And it's a match. Yeah, I definitely want to see another Undertaker Triple H match. I'm all for that, of course. I'll definitely watch that on the network. But I also have to kind of just say, this is why you can't build any new stars. It's because, you guys you already know these new guys. It's not that they suck. I keep hearing that. It's that you don't know what to do with them. You have these people that are talented. I'll even say a guy like a Finn Balor with the demon setup right there with that gimmick. You can go places with that, but you want to show it once a year. Oh, it takes too much time to face paint them. All these excuses, it's just lack of creativity. There's so many elements there. So you know what, they're like, okay, these guys are always over. They're always going to be over. So we're just going to utilize them. One day, these guys are just not going to physically be able to get in the ring, or they're just not going to be there. It's just a fact of life. They can only coast by so long, and there's so many wrestlers that have passed away. It's hard to keep track of. Like I said, there's times when I say, oh, what would make a great comeback? And then I forget, oh, the Bulldog is gone. Oh, Owen Hart is gone. Neidhart is gone. Test is gone. All these, the Big Boss Man is gone. All these wrestlers are gone. Gone, passed away, not there anymore. It's just, we've lost so many. It's like, sooner or later we're not going to be able to even depend on the ones that are still with us. We're going to have to build new stars, and, they're not taking the right efforts. They could have used these wrestlers like Undertaker and Triple H to help put over the younger wrestlers, but they went about it in the wrong way, or they just didn't do it at all. And, it's always this way with whoever you want to mention on the current roster out of the current breed of stars. There is not one wrestler that is truly over in the same way as an Undertaker or a Triple H or a Rock or a Stone Cold. No, everyone's reaction pales in comparison. Everyone's career pales in comparison. It's just, it's just sad. I sit back and I listen to Triple H, and he's great with promos and everything. But, when you say that this era is special, it's the same way on the network during the Monday Night War specials that they did during that series, where they pretty much said, hey, guys, we know that we suck now, so we're going to put out this show where we talk about how it was a different time when wrestling was, allowed to be better. So, right now it's not allowed to be good. It has to suck for whatever the reason may be. We want to play it too safe. We feel that this is the best way to do things. Just try to neuter things as much as possible. I don't know. I'm at a loss at this point. I don't know why they do what they do, why they refuse to get better. It's got to be one of those reasons. They're scared about the PR. They want to be accepted so badly on the Today Show and all this. And I just need to really ask the question. And I guess it's because of the changing times. It says, we're living in a social justice age, a very politically correct time. Because otherwise I would say that back in the day, the wrestlers were all over the place. They were on the Today Show. They were on Jay Leno. They were on David Letterman. They were on, Rosie O'Donnell. They were on The View. They were on Regis and Kathy. They were all over the place. They were on the cover of TV Guide and all multiple magazines. So, it's the changing of the times. I guess that's maybe what they mean when they say it's a different time. I think I've talked about this before, but I like to elaborate and return to it a few times because I try to always interpret this, and this is kind of what I've come up with. It really is. It's like, yeah, it is a different time when you think about it. Things, the way the media is, the way how people react to things, people are more sensitive than they used to be. So that's probably why they do this. But they don't realize that there's a whole bunch of people who are not like that, who would actually probably like a product that's more. Don't they say the ratings are not going up? That's probably because they're not gaining any new people. And I said there was also opportunities where they didn't even have to be like offensive to any like particular groups or anything like that. They could have made Finn Balor do the LBGT gimmick, which I was all for, and they probably would have gained some new stars. They probably would have gained recognition from the media and other places, but they decided not to do that because that was too risque. So they get themselves into a corner where just anything is too risque. It doesn't matter if what it may be. They just played safe on this even plane where just nothing happens. It's a wasteland of just nothingness. And we've been continuing down this path for more than a decade already. Dean Ambrose defeated Dolph Ziggler, and I'm just like, okay, so we already lost the title last night. You're going to bury him even further by having Dean Ambrose beat him. How much better would it have been if Ambrose sided with Ziggler and we had this three-man team, and it just, I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. Why you wouldn't want to make it interesting. You could have had a great promo from Ambrose explaining what he did, but we're just gonna go this path. Like just bury Ziggler, or let's bury McIntyre. Let's just throw away what we've been doing with them for the past few months. Not like it was quality TV or anything, but any type of progress that they may or may not have made with them is now completely gone out the window. So, there you go. You've buried Ziggler once again. One of the most talented guys on the roster. One of the most charismatic guys that they currently have. But, no respect is shown to him. Just, treat him like trash. Throw him to the side. Just feed him to Ambrose right away. So he loses 2 nights in a row. Why not? Elias came out, started doing a performance, which brought out Kurt Hawkins. And I said in my SummerSlam review, I says, the thing is about this? I was like, I was like, Elias's guitar broke last night. I was like, so you know what? Maybe this is going to be, a stroke of bad luck for Elias. Maybe he's going to go like on a losing streak. I was like, this is going to be it. I think that if any time that Hawkins is going to win a match to break his losing streak, it's going to be this night. He lost. And that was it. So, there you go. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So, it's like, so basically, I don't know what that was all about, why his guitar broke at SummerSlam. I don't think that that was like a shoot there. I don't think that, like, I think that was supposed to happen, but it just didn't make any sense. Like, what the fuck was that all about? So it wasn't even about anything, and now we're on Raw. You know, SummerSlam's already done, and we're still not going to do anything with them. We're still not going to do anything with Elias? I guess not. The Authors of Pain defeated Titus Worldwide. Can we stop having this match for the love of God? I swear to God, if they have this match one more fucking time, I mean, how many more times are we supposed to do this? I mean, who wants to see this feud? Where is it going? I don't. It's like Bobby Roode and Mojo Rawley, which wasn't even featured anywhere on the show, by the way, or at SummerSlam, or on the pre-show. Does anybody care about this stuff? Is it going anywhere? I see a story here that they're like trying to tell, where, you know, I don't, like, it was kind of like Titus wanted to take them under his wing, or even though they're supposed to be ruthless, then they're like running away from Titus Worldwide. They had Titus Worldwide kick their asses, and now they're like, now Authors of Pain are back to dominating again. So I'm like, ho ho, hey ho ho, once again. I mean, it really is. It's like WWE has hey, 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 ho, ho, syndrome. Hey, 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 I mean, you know, it's just, you look at stuff like this and you're just going to keep repeating the same match 6 weeks in a row. It's like, if you're not going to put any effort into the show, why put any effort into watching it? You know, oh, God. So, Ronda Rousey segment. All the girls are on the outside. Stephanie is in the ring, introduces Rousey, comes out. You know, I hate this. You know, it's just, who made Stephanie like the role model for all women? Like, this is like this. I guess it's supposed to be like it's her division, kind of like how they made like Brooke Hogan like supposedly the GM for the women's division. I always said that it was a good idea to probably have a separate division for the women. Like, probably over on SmackDown, what would be probably a cool idea is maybe if like Hulk Hogan was the GM for the men, and maybe have Paige be the GM for the women, like something, you know. But, you know, Stephanie, of all people, Stephanie is like the ambassador. Oh, look how great we're doing with women. I'm a woman too, by the way. I mean, you know, it's just, no one likes her, or if they do, what's wrong with you? Like, she is the most annoying, just unlikable, uncool person there could possibly be. You are not Vince, Stephanie. You're not Vince, for the 1,000th time. It doesn't matter how many times you make your voice like this. First of all, a woman shouldn't sound like that. Second of all, you don't even have half the charisma he does. There was a time when Stephanie was doing all right for herself. You know, like, why can't they just make her like the GM she was back in like 2002, 2003? Why do they have to make like Stephanie McMahon be such a, you know, a dominant figure to the point where she makes all men like balls shrink like right in front of her own eyes? But all right, so we're talking about this. So she calls all the women to come into the ring, that they've been disgraced. So I don't get this part. So when she tells them to all step up and don't let Stephanie push you around, they all step into the ring, including the Riot Squad, including the heels. Okay, so then Ronda then ends up, you know, flipping her over, giving her the arm bar. She might have broke her arm again, I guess. You know, I hope she sells it longer than this time. You know, we already saw this. So then at the end, so the Riot Squad is then like nursing her back to health, and like I forget there was and Alexa Bliss and Alicia Fox, but they all like listened to Rousey. So like Alexa Bliss, who was wrestling Rousey, like actually stepped up onto the ring apron when Rousey told her to do so. You know, like, any problem there? Like, the heels are listening to the babyface. There, like, was no issue with this with anybody in WWE when they saw this. I just couldn't help but notice it. But, anyway, so we got to see the same thing, basically. I guess it was alright, but we just saw this a few months ago after WrestleMania. I didn't feel like it really led to anything, or we got anything out of it. Like, where's Rousey going after this? Oh, I guess we have to tune in next week. Well, we should have found out where she's going next after the title win on this night. Dawson defeated Bo Dallas, and then we had Dash defeating Curtis Axel. So, just to fill time, we're going to split the tag team match up and just have it to be 2 singles matches. Because you've already seen the tag match 1,000 times. But they're gonna wrestle again eventually, but the singles match, like, who cares? And like the B team, when they came out for the promo, Curtis Axel says, "Oh, the B stands for Brooklyn." No one even cheered. Yikes. Kurt Angle is sent on vacation by Stephanie, and now Baron Corbin is going to be the full-time, he's going to be the temporary GM at the moment. So, I don't know. I guess maybe Kurt Angle might be taking some time off in real life, whatever the case may be. Has it really been 1.5 years since he's been GM? I guess so, right? It took place after WrestleMania last year, so wow. I mean, it's been a really long time that he's been GM, and sometimes, like, I feel like it should be more special that Kurt Angle is back in the company and the GM, but it's like, now I kind of just say, like, oh, well, Kurt Angle's in the WWE. But it was like 1.5 years ago, everyone was like, man, I can't wait. I hope Kurt Angle comes back after the Hall of Fame. And now we're just kind of like, That's WWE now in a nutshell. They ruin almost any good time, any excitement, any hype. This is what I'm saying about them. Whatever it may be, they're going to ruin it at the end of the day. That is why it's not even worth looking forward to anything anymore that the company does. Because it doesn't matter what it is. They're just going to end up botching it at the end anyway. So, Roman Reigns defeated Finn Balor in the main event when Braun Strowman came out to cash in. He's about to cash in. Then all of a sudden, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose come out, dressed in the Shield garb. So they make their way down to the ring, and then they powerbomb Braun through the announce table. So, 2 nights in a row, we've had the monster among men who's like, make sure he says, I'm going to, do things face to face. And he's just like, he's getting ragdolled. First by Lesnar, then by the Shield. So, even Braun Strowman is not safe from looking bad as a Money in the Bank holder. Same thing with Seth Rollins, same thing with Carmella, same thing with every single person that's held the briefcase. There's no limit to it. Even Braun Strowman, even a guy who won a match in 2 minutes at SummerSlam against Kevin Owens, even he is not safe from getting jobbed out or looking like a fool when he has the briefcase. I mean, do you really want to have Braun in that prone position, like being smashed through an announce table looking weak, but when he's probably scheduled to be your next champion? And it's so lame. They gave up the opportunity to have an awesome heel turn, to have a great moment with Reigns where he could have went heel in the main event. Also, was it all because they wanted to do another lame ass Shield reunion? Is that what this was all about? Is that why they with all the rumors and everything about Dean Ambrose turning heel, that they didn't pull the trigger on it? Well, now they had their little stupid Shield reunion for the 1,000th fucking time. So can we maybe move on to something else? Or is this what we're going to have now? Or are we going to just is it going to be back to the Shield watching Roman's back as champion? I mean, there's something that could be interesting there, but I know that it's not going to be. I mean, I think that doesn't Seth Rollins probably have to have a dozen more matches with Dolph Ziggler? I mean, it's like, wow. It doesn't matter how many good ideas, could be laid out on the table. They're not going to do any of them. I mean, didn't we just see the Shield do a reunion at the beginning or the end of last year or whatever? Okay, so Roman got sick. They weren't able to do the reunion that they wanted to do. But then they ended up doing it anyway. Right? Whatever. Maybe they didn't have a match or whatever it was, but they did do some form of a reunion. Now we're going to go back to the drawing board again with this fucking Shield thing. It's enough already. Everyone should have been moved past this. The fact that Rollins and Ambrose are even still together. It's enough already. Split them up. They're individuals. Just because you couldn't get them over creatively, it doesn't mean that we should all be forced to suffer and see these guys back together again. That's what they did like last year, when it was like, oh, they realized they fucked up with Ambrose and Rollins, so they brought them back together to their like most over time as the Shield, because they can't figure out how to get them over on their own. That's so pathetic, and they're taking that same route. And you see what I mean? How it's just an endless cycle. We already saw the reunion. Now you're gonna do it again. And they did do it again. And they sacrificed all that good material they could have done at SummerSlam, even on Raw. So they could have just maybe had the feel-good moments on SummerSlam, and then on Raw decided to do, a 180, and it still would have been just as effective, even if just maybe a little bit less. But, we're all these great ideas. The Reigns heel turn, the Ambrose heel turn, all this stuff went straight out the window in favor of mundane, every, day-to-day normalcy. Oh, there you go, folks. There's your Raw review. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. So, guys, if you're not getting notifications when I post a new video, make sure that you are subscribed and make sure that you click the bell so you do get those notifications. And also, check out all my other videos. And this has been your YWC Champ, and I'm signing out.